Me and Jake will travel to Romania.
There you go.
We will make this happen. We'll do it wherever you want, whatever conditions you want.
You know what? I'm trying so hard to not start internet beefs. I'm really trying not to.
Jake Paul and Andrew Tate are officially set to face off, and the contract details that just leaked have taken this from a potential publicity stunt to a legitimate high-stakes showdown. This isn't your average celebrity boxing match. It's personal, and the stakes are massive. Let's break down exactly why this fight is shaping up to be one of the biggest events in combat sports history. Andrew Tate threw down the challenge, and Jake Paul didn't hesitate. Within 24 hours, Jake was all in. No drawn-out negotiations, no months of social media teasing. Just a
You might have a fight on your hands.
That would go crazy.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. No, seriously.
I'm
let's
about
do
the
it.
action. Like I'm less talk now. Let's just fucking go.
a direct challenge and an immediate yes. It's almost like Jake didn't even stop to think about what he was agreeing to. But hey, that's classic Jake Paul, jumping headfirst into the deep end without checking if there's water. This isn't some influencer sideshow. Both of these guys are controversial figures with massive followings and even bigger egos. It's not about building clout or securing views. It's about proving dominance in the fight game. Tate made sure this fight would be real, not another scripted circus. The leaked contract lays down some wild terms that guarantee this will be a genuine, no excuses clash of skill and willpower. But only if they win by knockout or submission. If the fight goes
he's fighting, all he fights are old guys and whatever, but listen, say what you want, he wins and he makes money. So he's doing his thing, you know.
Goes the distance and ends up in the hands of the judges, the winner gets half, just $5 million. That's a huge incentive for both guys to go for the finish. Expect fireworks. No shortcuts here. The contract includes full-scale, random drug testing at any time, with zero notice. Fail a test, and you're not just out of the fight. You're also getting hit with a massive fine.
You just don't see it as a sustainable thing.
He fought Tommy Fury and lost. Where's that rematch? Where's that rematch?
I don't know where it's at. I know he's fighting a 57-year-old champ now. What's
58.
58. Don't want to take a year away from you, Mike.
He's fighting a guy that's almost 60 years old, and you know what I mean. I mean that says it all. That says it all. There's nothing else that needs to be said. That's his shtick. That's his thing. He fights guys that are old, usually undersized guys, older, undersized guys. But he's fighting Tyson here, and him and Tyson are going to make a shitload of money,
a bunch of money,
and good for both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Good for both of them. Like I say, Jake Paul can fight. It's not like Jake Paul can't fight.
Yeah.
Jake Paul just won't fight anybody.
No performance enhancers, no sneaky tricks, just raw, unfiltered skill. Tate even added some personal stakes, a $3 million side bet. Winner takes all. No safety nets, no second chances. Tate's betting on himself, and Jake has to put his money where his mouth is.
Probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you. This is the hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck you up. I'm one of the lucky ones.
There's no next time in this contract. If you lose, that's it. No redemption arc, no running it back. Whoever walks away victorious will have permanent bragging rights. No do-overs allowed unless both fighters agree afterward. Both Jake and Tate are set to take home of the PPV sales given their massive online followings and the sheer spectacle this fight promises. That could mean tens of millions each, just from people watching.
I do have $3 million to bet with you, so this is your offer. $3 million. You put 3, I put 3, winner takes all. I'm 5 years out the ring. I'm a kickboxer. You're 2-0 in boxing. I'm 0-0 in boxing. I've never even fought boxing. I'm a retired old man. 5 years I've been sitting around smoking cigars and fucking bitches, which are better looking than the fucking girl you're advertising anyway.
If this fight blows up the way it's expected to, both fighters could walk away with life-changing paydays. Missing weight that'll cost you, that's millions of dollars gone if either of them shows up out of shape. It's not just about money. It's about the humiliation that comes with being labeled unprofessional in front of the whole world. Tate and Jake aren't allowed to meet face-to-face until the official weigh-in. Until then, all the trash talk and psychological warfare will unfold on social media. Every post, every tweet, every Instagram story will add more fuel to the fire.
Don't worry about Floyd Mayweather fucking you up. You only want to lose to them so you can say, well, I lost to Conor McGregor. Why don't you lose to an old man who's retired? I live in the real fucking world, Jake. There's a whole bunch of fighters out here who live in the real fucking world. Men who are dangerous and dedicated their lives to this sport and don't have a fucking fraction of the money you have because you managed to become a fucking clown.
Fire. The mental battle will be just as intense as the physical one. The weigh-in itself is set to be a spectacle. Who's going to blink first? Will Jake's trolling finally get under Tate's skin? Or will Tate's trademark calmness crack under the pressure? That's when the real mind games will kick in. This fight isn't about building brands or setting up some influencer narrative. It's about two guys with a lot to lose stepping into the ring to prove who's the better man. Tate's an experienced kickboxer, but hasn't boxed professionally. Jake's been selective with his opponents, but no one can deny he's trained hard and knows how to fight.
Because you managed to become a fucking clown. The biggest clown on the fucking internet. If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living fuck out of a fucking goofy, fucking entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate. Fucking Google it if you want to know more.
Fight. The pressure is enormous. The money is life-changing. The trash talk is already next level. And when the bell rings, there's no script, just fists flying and reputations on the line. The Jake Paul versus Andrew Tate fight is shaping up to be one of the most intense and high-stakes matchups in recent memory, and it's not just because of the personalities involved. It's the brutal terms of the contract and the personal stakes that elevate it from spectacle to genuine sporting drama. Let's dive deeper into why this fight is more than just another celebrity cash grab. The leaked contract details reveal just how serious this fight is. Forget the influencer boxing fluff. We're talking about professional-level conditions designed to eliminate any chance of a scripted outcome or convenient excuse. Here's what makes this contract so savage. But only if they finish the fight by knockout or submission. If it goes the distance and ends up in the hands of the judges, the payout drops to $5 million. This creates a direct incentive for both fighters to come out swinging. Playing it safe won't cut it. Someone needs to get put to sleep for the full payday. Full scale. Random drug tests can happen at any time. No heads up, no planning around it. If either fighter fails a test, they're not only out of the fight, but also hit with a massive financial penalty. This guarantees that both fighters are coming into the ring clean. No performance enhancers, no backdoor advantages.
You know what? I'm trying so hard to not start internet beefs. I'm really trying not to.
Tate's not just fighting for the money. He's fighting for pride and to prove he's the better man. If Jake gets knocked out or Tate gets embarrassed, that's the end of the story, unless both fighters agree to a rematch after the fact. This raises the stakes even higher. There's no second chance to fix a loss. Pay-per-view split could be insane. Jake and Tate are both set to take home 50% of the PPV sales. Given their massive global followings, this could mean tens of millions of dollars each, just from fans buying the fight. A massive social media buildup combined with the controversy surrounding both fighters makes this fight practically guaranteed to smash PPV records. If the numbers hit the level some insiders are projecting, this could rival some of the biggest boxing events in history. On top of that, the humiliation of missing weight in a high-profile event would be career-damaging for both fighters. To build tension, the contract specifically prohibits any face-to-face contact between Jake and Tate until the official weigh-in. This means the psychological warfare will happen entirely online through social media posts, trash talk, and video call-outs. The weigh-in itself is going to be a major event. All that pent-up aggression and tension will explode the moment they step on the scale and stand face-to-face for the first time. Jake is a master at trolling his opponents and getting into their heads before fight night. Tate, however, is known for his stone-cold persona and psychological toughness. Jake's social media taunts and Tate's stoic confidence will collide in real time at the weigh-in, and that's when we'll see who's really in control mentally. Jake Paul has carefully built his boxing career by picking his opponents wisely, but Tate is different. Tate is an experienced kickboxer, though he's never boxed professionally. Jake has proven he can fight, but this is the first time he's facing someone who genuinely believes they can humble him. On paper, Jake should have the boxing advantage, but Tate's combat experience and mental toughness even the playing field. If Jake wins, it cements his legitimacy as a true boxer. If Tate wins, he humbles one of the most polarizing figures in the sport and potentially ends Jake's run as a headline act. A loss here isn't just a temporary setback, it's a major hit to their legacies. For Jake, losing to Tate would reinforce the narrative that he's just a YouTuber playing boxer. For Tate, losing to Jake would destroy his carefully crafted image as an elite fighter and alpha male.
However, I do understand what he's doing. I understand that he is very, very smart, even with his marketing angle. I'm just a YouTuber. You're not just a YouTuber. You're a full-grown man with the best coaches in the world who's dedicated his life to learning how to box for years. You know how to box. You're not a complete amateur. You know how to box very well. 3, 4, 5 years of training combat sports. You can box.
The winner walks away with bragging rights and a massive payday. The loser? Well, they'll have to face the internet's wrath, and with the size of both their followings, that's a brutal punishment in itself. Both Jake and Tate know they need to finish this fight early to secure the full payout. That means an all-out war from the opening bell. No coasting through rounds, no feeling-out process. It's going to be high-paced, explosive action from the start. Jake has knockout power and solid technique. Tate has striking experience and mental toughness. Someone is going to get caught. It's just a matter of when and how badly. If Jake wins, he cements his place as a legitimate boxer and sets up bigger fights with higher stakes. If Tate wins, he shuts down Jake's entire narrative and positions himself as the next big draw in the fight world. Either way, the fallout on social media is going to be legendary. Memes, hot takes, and reaction videos will flood the internet. And you can bet both Jake and Tate will capitalize on that attention to fuel whatever comes next. This isn't just a fight. It's a battle for dominance, respect, and life-changing money. Jake and Tate aren't fighting for a belt. They're fighting for control of the narrative, for their legacies, and for the ultimate payday. No gimmicks, no scripts. Just two men settling their differences the old-fashioned way. This fight is bigger than just a clash of egos. It's a high-stakes spectacle with careers, reputations, and future earnings on the line. Jake Paul and Andrew Tate aren't just fighting for a win. They're fighting to define their legacies in front of millions of fans and haters alike. This isn't about a title or a belt. It's about dominance, respect, and the right to control the narrative in the cutthroat world of combat sports and social media. The winner will have the ultimate leverage in future negotiations, sponsorships, and public perception. For Jake, a win would silence the doubters who still see him as a YouTuber playing boxer. For Tate, it's about proving his toughness and status as a real fighter, not just a controversial internet personality. The financial upside is enormous. Pay-per-view buys are expected to break records, and both fighters have deals that include a slice of the revenue. The winner will walk away with a life-changing sum and the leverage to demand even bigger purses in future fights. In the age of social media, this fight isn't confined to the ring. Memes, reaction videos, and analysis from influencers will flood every platform within minutes. The winner will ride that wave into even greater public visibility, while the loser becomes the internet's newest punching bag. Neither Jake nor Tate can afford to play it safe. This won't be a tactical chess match. It's going to be a firefight from the opening bell. Jake Paul's knockout power is proven. He's got a solid right hand, decent footwork, and the ability to stay composed under pressure. He's knocked out seasoned fighters before. If he lands clean, Tate could go down fast. Tate's striking background gives him a technical advantage. He's a former kickboxing world champion, used to reading opponents and finding openings. His mental toughness and experience in combat sports could give him the upper hand if the fight drags into deeper waters. The pressure will be intense. With millions watching and the potential for a viral moment at stake, both men will feel the heat. Jake will likely look to establish dominance early, but Tate's experience could allow him.
My Bugatti that I have is in a Morgan Stanley bank account, compounding interest and hundreds of millions of dollars. So that's cooler than having a Bugatti.
Him to weather the storm and counter effectively. He becomes a legitimate boxing attraction. Bigger fights with top-tier boxers or even MMA crossovers become possible. His rise from YouTuber to respected boxer would be complete. He shuts down Jake's narrative entirely. He'd be seen as the man who exposed Jake Paul, instantly elevating himself as a major combat sports draw. Future fights and opportunities would flood in. No matter the outcome, social media will go into overdrive. Expect trending hashtags, TikTok breakdowns, and reaction videos from major influencers. The internet will dissect every moment, and both fighters will leverage that attention to further their brands. This fight transcends boxing. It's a battle for dominance in the influencer and fight worlds. Jake Paul and Andrew Tate represent two sides of internet celebrity culture: flashy, brash personalities with legions of diehard fans and just as many haters. The fight itself will be brutal, fast-paced, and explosive. The fallout will reshape their careers, and the winner won't just walk away with a victory. They'll walk away with control of the spotlight and the next chapter in internet and combat sports history.